Welcome to Fear Travel, where we locate haunted places you must visit across the world. In this video, we will mention 10 most haunted places in the world. Number 1. Czech Lagoon, Micronesia. What's considerably more startling than a spooky burial ground? Most likely a spooky burial ground that sits 50 feet submerged underwater. Micronesia's Czech Lagoon pond, previously referred to as Truck Lagoon, filled in as a brace base for the Japanese naval force during World War II, and it was gone after by American powers during a 3-day airstrike in 1944. Many warships, planes, tanks, and railroad vehicles sank to the lower part of the lagoon, where they remain today in what is known as the Phantom Armada of Truck Lagoon. The boat burial ground is monstrously famous with scuba jumpers, with PADI naming it one of the most outstanding wreck plunging objections in the world. Submerged wayfarers can swim up near the wartime vessels, which are covered with weapons, gas veils, and, as per a few odd jumpers, a couple of waterlogged phantoms. Number 2. St. George's Church, Czech Republic. Initially worked in 1352, St. George's Church, around 125 miles east of Prague, gloats all in all a set of experiences. The structure was almost obliterated by flames many times throughout the long term, and its rooftop somewhat imploded during a memorial service in 1968. After that occasion, the gathering became persuaded the congregation was spooky and would not enter. Accordingly, the structure was stripped by burglars and succumbed to defacement. That all different in 2012, when a craftsmanship understudy at the College of West Bohemia had a plan to draw guests back to the congregation, an assortment of 30 phantom figures sitting in the seats with their heads bowed. Today, vacationers have rushed to the ghost church, which opens to the public each Saturday evening, to snap photographs and even sit among the unmoving ghosts while supplicating. Number 3. Edinburgh Castle, Scotland. One of the biggest attractions in Scotland's capital city is also considered to be one of its most haunted. With sections dating back more than 900 years, the historic fortress's ancient dungeons have led visitors to report sightings of colonial prisoners from the American Revolutionary War and French prisoners from the 7 Years' War, and even the ghost of a dog wandering the castle's dog cemetery. Number 4. Isla de las Monicas, Mexico. Regardless of its status as an UNESCO World Legacy webpage for its very much saved instances of Aztec life, the neighborhood of Xochimilco has arrived at a specific measure of web distinction for its Island of the Dolls. Tucked away among the district's many trenches, the site is popular for the many dolls and doll parts dangling from trees and dissipated among the grass. While it could seem to be a thriller set, the Chinampa used to be the home of a now perished man named Julian St. Nick Barrera. In the wake of finding a dead young lady's body in a close by channel, Barra gathered and showed the toys with expectations of warding off detestable spirits, reports Public Geographic. Trying spirits can recruit their own boat and view the island securely from the water. Number 5. Al Madam, United Arab Emirates. There is something frightfully gorgeous about phantom towns, and Al Madam is no special case. Situated in around 40 miles southeast of Dubai, the town was no doubt worked during the 1970s and abandoned not long after a reality that nearby legend credits to shape-moving spirits frightening individuals straight away. Nobody knows whether the spirits have waited. However, Al Madam actually has a kind of tormented quality to it, hills infringing on the 2 lines of houses and a mosque, sand falling through broken windows like waves, and an apparently perpetual ocean of ochre desert loosening up toward each path. Number 6. Leap Castle, Ireland. Worked eventually between the 13th and late 15th century, this Irish palace has seen more grisly passings than the Game of Thrones wedding scene, as rumors from far and wide suggest. During a battle for power inside the O'Carroll group, which had an affection for harming supper visitors, one part dove a blade into his sibling, a minister, as he was holding mass in the palace's sanctuary. The room is currently called the Ridiculous House of Prayer, and the minister is said to torment the congregation around evening time. The loathsomeness doesn't end there. Basically not as per the grim history illustrated on Leap Castle's website. During redesigns in the mid-1900s, workers tracked down a mysterious prison in the horrendous House of Prayer with such countless human skeletons. They filled 3 cartloads when pulled away. The prison was planned so detainees would fall through a hidden entrance, have their lungs penetrated by wooden spikes on the ground, and die in some horrible, nightmarish way, a sluggish, terrible passing quite close to the vile family individuals above. Number 7. Poglia Island, Venice. Not exactly a portion of a mile from the trenches of Venice, Poglia Island has filled in as a quarantine zone for bubonic plague casualties, extra room for Napoleon's weapons, and the site of a mid-20th century mental hospital. The refuge played host to terrible clinical investigations, reports the Movement Channel, lastly shut for good when a specialist hurled himself off the organization's chime tower. Local people actually guarantee to hear repeating rings from the island despite the fact that the chime was taken out many years prior. It's against the law to visit Poglia today, yet you can see the island and rotting emergency clinic securely from the seashores of neighboring Lido. Number 8. Castle of Good Hope, South Africa, a sprawling building near the shoreline of Table Bay in Cape Town. The Castle of Good Hope dates back to 1666, making it the oldest colonial building in South Africa. Originally built by the Dutch East India Company as a replenishment station for ships, the site also served as a military fortress and prison during the Second Boer War from 1899 to 1902. Today, you can tour the fort's many rooms and buildings, including the gruesome torture chamber, but you might want to prepare yourself for a ghost sighting. Back in the 1700s, Governor Pieter van Noot condemned several men to be hanged to death. One of the men cursed the governor from the gallows, and Van Noot died of a heart attack later that day. According to the Castle of Good Hope's official website, his ghost has been haunting the battlements ever since. Number 9. Larnach Castle, New Zealand. This glorious house was built between 1871 and 1887 to serve as the residence of William Larnach, a prominent New Zealand politician. Most notable is a 3,000 square foot ballroom, which Larnach had built as a 21st birthday present for his favorite daughter Kate, who later died of typhoid at age 26 and is said to still haunt the ballroom. Though chalk those taps on your shoulder and whispers in your ear is all up to imagination, the building has been visited by paranormal investigators and featured on Ghost Hunters International. Number 10. Crumlin Road Jail, Northern Ireland. Crumlin Road Jail, a Victorian-time jail in Belfast, is supposed to be perhaps of the most spooky site in Northern Ireland. Frequently alluded to as Europe's Alcatraz, the prison contained around 25,000 detainees during its 150 years of activity, openly hung a large number, and covered their bodies inside the jail walls. The establishment authoritatively shut its entryways in 1996. However, the apparitions of perished detainees are said to in any case meander the iron walkways today. On the off chance that this sounds like the kind of spot you need to invest energy in, fortune has smiled on you. Crumlin Street Jail offers everyday visits, live shows, and sensibly estimated dinners at its in-house cafe. It even fills in as a scene for gatherings and, in all honesty, weddings. These are just a few haunted places in the world you should visit. Subscribe to our channel to find out what haunted places to travel to next.